Insights with Terri Ep.181 a weekly look through the eyes of predictive astrologer Terri Ep.181. Here's Terri.
Hi everyone, this is Terri, and you're listening to Insights with Terri Ep.181. Thank you for joining me to explore together the week of August the 11th through the 17th. We've had a very interesting summer. We're not done with summer yet, but the season is really weird. According to us farmers, the dogs are shedding, but they've shed all year long, and that's usually they have a season for shedding. It's not something that is so prolonged. Also, they're starting to harvest some grapes, and I've been told by some that this is not something that has ever happened at this time of the year. It's really, really early. So, trees are different, the crop is different, believe it or not, the ducks are starting to hatch babies again, just like it was springtime. So I've got two crops of ducklings that are just a couple of days old. That should have been in May and June. I mean, you do have fall babies, but this is more. And the chicks just hatched out 17 babies. And I've got two other ducks that I know of that are sitting on a nest, and nests everywhere that I don't know about. So it is really an odd summer for timing. I think we have a very confused Mother Nature right now, I'm afraid. So who knows what kind of a winter we're going to get? Maybe the almanac knows. It's hard to say. We're just going to have to kind of just saddle up and get ready for a ride. I'm not sure what they're saying the winter is going to be like, but I know this is a very odd feeling right now for this time of year. I don't know if you have ever experienced where you get up and you can feel the fall and you just know that it has turned. I can't say that I have felt that yet. I'm glad, because I don't want summer to end just yet. But I have felt the coolness that doesn't feel like summer anymore. So it'll be interesting to see when we feel the fall. It's a very interesting year. Now, into astrology, the sun sign is still in Leo. Leo being that fiery kind of energy field that is impulsive and can be a little bit active and then a little bit lazy. Not sure if you have felt the same thing that I have. I will maybe have a day that I would consider lazy. That means not doing 10,000 things. And then the next day, you can't keep me down. It's just I'm at this. So it's feast or famine. And that seems to be, watching the animals, the same thing that I see with them. They'll be totally energetic one day, and I can get them working and doing the agility courses and doing the training, and there is no bottom to their energy level. They just want to keep going. Can't tire them out. And then another day, they're just happy to lay on the porch. They don't cause any mayhem or catastrophes. They're just happy to be on the porch. So they're in the same type of energy field, which is feast or famine. So keep an eye on your animals as to what you're requiring from them. And if they feel lethargic, you don't have to force them into exercising, maybe if they don't want to or they don't need to. But be prepared for when the feast comes, and you may have a kind of a wild animal there. I'm noticing the same with my parrots. They're just flighty. I guess that's stupid. They are flighty. They have their wings. I'll find some days where they're perch potatoes. They just want to hang around on their perch even though their cage door is open and they've got the house to fly around in. And then there are other days where they're all over the place. They're on my back. They're hanging upside down from my hair. They're helping me with the dishes. They're just all over. My conure today was hanging off my dog. My dog is so patient. His name is Crumbs. And he's so patient. He just looks at me like, Are you going to do something with this thing? So the conure was riding his back. Leo energy that we have in the sun sign is not normally known for patience. So I was very grateful that he showed some patience there. Then Mercury, the planet of the mind, how we think, how we communicate, that's in retrograde. Woohoo! That's not my favorite time. It's in Virgo, which is, Virgo is ruled by Mercury. So we have a Mercury-ruled planet in Mercury going retrograde. Wow. Wow. So, great time for looking back. Good time for maybe looking at your accounts and going over your accounts, reorganizing, redoing a project maybe that you're not satisfied with, renovating, maybe fixing your car that is an old car. Not a good time for new. If you wanted to buy a new car, new fridge, new stove, if you can avoid it, try to avoid it. It's more for going back. Be very careful driving or interacting with big machinery that can hurt you. This is the time of mistakes. We make lots of mistakes during this time. Our mind isn't engaged. It's going backwards. It's not quick. It isn't as athletic as we'd like our mind to be. So with that energy, knowing that energy, just be careful. I'm holding on to the railing. I'm thinking before I do something. I don't just jump up and go and do it. So just, if you can, be cognizant of where you're putting your feet. I'm even noticing the dogs are falling upstairs. So they go up the stairs and they misstep. Now they can't hang on to the railing. It's not funny, but it is kind of funny. And it's the same with the ducks. The ducks will be running at me and they take a face plant because they just get mixed up. Their mind isn't working as fast as their body is. So that's just something, be careful. This is the time of accidents. So just, be careful. But it's a good time to look around the house and see what you need to get done. Cleaning up the barn, cleaning up the garage, getting rid of stuff. Great time for that. Looking into your drawers. And drawers that open and close. Venus, the planet of love and beauty and attraction, is also in Virgo. That's not the best time for it. It makes us picky. I've noticed some of my clients having difficulties in relationships where right now that pickiness, we tend to nag at each other, pick at each other, be a little bit more on the irritable side. So just if you can, if you find yourself getting nacky, picky, just get off your partner. Just try not to be so picky. Try to relax, take a good deep breath, realize that it's not important. Don't go here. We can be really not so pleasant to be around in that kind of an energy field. And just be aware. Just be aware. And then Mars, the planet of drive, passion. That is the energy planet. That's still in Gemini, and I've talked that one to death. If you wanted to explore that, there are about 5 other podcasts that we've talked about this. So I'm not even going to go there. It's the time of communication, being interested in people that are interesting, that have something to actually talk about. Good time for reading. Right now I'm doing some exploration in data on parrots, actually, trying to learn about their feeding habits and what types of food. Not a lot of data there, and some of the data is misinformed. So this is a really good time to be able to clearly go through lots and lots of information and make it make sense, where sometimes it might not. The moon is going to be full on the 19th of this month. So that'll be tons of energy. And that's sharing Aquarius and Pisces. So Aquarius is the energy field of independence, of unique ideas, finding solutions to problems, not quitting, but looking ahead so far in the future that we can solve something before we even know it's a problem. Pisces being very sensitive and very psychic. So you put the two of them together, they are really direct opposites, but they can combine really nicely if we know what we're doing. Most of us don't, myself included. We can take the ability of that Aquarian energy to say A and B equals C. So I see this going to happen. All right, my dog, let's just say that my dog, I know he lunges. All right, there's a person coming. So A, I know my dog lunges. Here's a person coming. The outcome is my dog is going to try to lunge at that person. Get off the sidewalk. That's Aquarian energy. Looking ahead, see what the problem is. What can we do about it? Pisces energy is a little bit of psychic. So it may be, I see the dog. My dog lunges. I should get off the sidewalk, but it feels like it's going to be okay. Woohoo! It is. Or it isn't feeling okay. Getting just 1 foot over isn't going to be enough. I better really move over well. So we're combining that intuitive energy with the logic energy of Aquarius, and we're coming up with some good ideas. And that is in the full moon, which is created to see through things, to see things, to have that energy. It is a psychic planet in and of itself. The beginning of the week, we are looking at vulnerability in liver, hips, thighs, and the sacrum. So if you have any vulnerability in those areas, it may hit you. So already I'm seeing little issues in the back. Just be careful and watch if your liver is a fatty liver or it's overworking because of toxicities. Don't put any pressure on it. Hips, thighs, you know the feeling. If your hips aren't doing that well, you know the feeling. So maybe don't carry things that are too heavy. Just take care of it. And it's a very optimistic time during the first part of the week too, where we just don't want to say die. Then towards the end of the week, we're looking at vulnerabilities in our backbone, our joints, the knees. So be prepared for inflammation there. Again, I've said to you before, go to your Google and look up inflammation. What foods are inflammatory and what foods are anti-inflammatory, and go with that. Try to stay away from the inflammatory foods. You'll wish you did. Or if you can do like a real good friend of mine reawakened me on the golden milk. Forgot all about it. It's turmeric in milk that has just been brought to a boil. You don't have to boil it, just to a boil. Add a teaspoon of turmeric, maybe just a pinch of pepper, and cinnamon, nutmeg to taste, because those are all anti-inflammatories. They say try not to put sugar in there, but maybe just a touch of honey, and there you go. One of the most anti-inflammatory concoctions that you can make, and sip it, and it tastes really good. Some people like it in the morning. They add ginger, and it's a pick-me-up. I find that it smooths me out at night. I don't add the ginger. So you can do all kinds of things with that. The number that has been given to us with where the planets are is the number 9. And that's a very idealistic type of energy field. So we may have an idealistic approach towards ourselves, towards our surroundings. Just make sure you're grounded. It's nice to be in that energy field because it's very optimistic, and that's going to go with that optimism that we are feeling naturally because Sagittarius is in the moon on Tuesday for a few days. But we want to be realistic. So this is a journey that can help us gain experience. With the number 9, it sometimes puts us in a position where we meet people that are important to our mission, putting us in the right place at the right time, in the right environment, with in mind where the opportunities are lying. So it's a wonderful energy for helping us move forward if we have it in our mind. This is a high level of mental energy during this time. Now just watch that your brain doesn't outrace you, because then we forget, right? Our mind's going, but we forgot what we started from. What did I come down here for? What did I go out in the barn for? it will help us become a little bit more devoted to our goals and maybe a little bit more sensitive and a little bit more courageous about some of the things that we need to do. I'm going to talk about courage here for a minute. I had this huge hive, a hornet hive. I mean, it was bigger, way bigger than a basketball. And we had cleaned the field, and it just happened that this hive was, I don't know why, attached to the low branch on an evergreen tree. Hard to see, but I could see them going in and out. Little monsters. Anyway, my dog, Munchie, decided it was a ball and jumped on it. I can't even tell you how that ended. Not well. He had maybe over 50 stings. Benadryl, thank God for Benadryl, and thank God for Medicam. He pulled through, but it was scary for a bit, and we had to run. One of the other dogs got stung quite a few times too. So that energy field of being courageous, I had to go out and kill the other nest and gather my courage. And you know what? I wasn't really scared. Maybe that was just stupid. I took precautions, but I pulled on that courage that the number 9 is offering us and went out there and did that thing that I had to do to keep the dog safe. And it's an energy field that supports us taking on responsibility. And it's an energy field that lets us actually see our own wisdom. Wow, that's novel for me anyway. So there's a spiritual aspect to it coming into that Pisces in the full moon on the 19th. We won't need so much material security as much as we will want to have good heart, good thinking, good friends, love, truth, friendships that are very important. The spirituality, the need to give to others, not just ourselves, to others. So this whole package represents fulfilling and closing certain cycles. We're closing off the end of the summer, getting there, and getting us ready to advance towards our new future, our new journey. I can see it in the dogs' coats. They're getting rid of the old one, getting ready for the new one. That's where we are in nature, ready to close the summer, getting ready to harvest all the work that we've done, getting all of that going. The weakness of this is beware of the tendency to be in the energy field of being in delusions, not looking at things, as I said earlier, with clarity. Maybe being extremely emotional, maybe a little moody, and maybe having exaggerated reactions here. So if you're seeing that in your friends or yourself, you just want to be cognizant of it and try to get balance there. We may find ourselves having a tendency to emotional stress and mental excesses where we're going, spinning our mental wheels. That emotional stress, I've seen it coming already. So that's something that we want to be aware of. And, how do we manage that? All right, so that's what we've got for this week. I thank you so much for spending time with me and going through this. I want to take a moment to thank Charlie O'Brien. He's the one that puts it all up on Spotify, Apple iTunes, Amazon Music Podcast, SoundCloud, YouTube. Then he gives me the link. I put it on Facebook. He has created the website, www.terriworld.com, and he's archived a few of the last podcasts so that if you've missed any or that you need to just kind of catch up and maybe go over it just to see what's going on, he's got that there, up there for us. He's just amazing, and I thank you very much, Charlie. And if you need anything digital, he's the guy to see, or photography. He's amazing at it. If you need me for a reading for yourself or anything to do with your animals, your parrots, your dogs, your horses, just give me a text or give me a call like the person is doing now, 519-726-6699, or you can email me at terri.coutts@gmail.com. I thought I'd be safe at 11 o'clock at night that there'd be no texts coming in. I didn't have to shut off the phone. So much for being psychic, right? Everybody have a great week. I'll talk to you next week. Bye for now.
Thanks for listening to Insights with Terri Coots. Visit Terri's website at terriworld.com. TERRI world.com.